Hello and welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft Hardcore. My name is Syken and today we're continuing the World of Warcraft Hardcore series of our warrior Syken stops on the official servers of Stitches, of course. So I am starting with a little bit of a different intro this time. We're doing something that we will not be doing throughout the entire episode, which is farming in the Blasted Lands. I mentioned the last time already that I am farming a little bit in the Blasted Lands, and I just wanted to showcase this episode, or the start of this episode, to introduce just how much faster things are falling with the Threshblade. So I want to highlight I'm not world buffed. Matter of fact, I'm only self buffed, and not even like fully. We only have our shout and a local consumable, and you can see that these are even level mobs to us. So typically that took around 30 to 40 seconds easily, and then in later parts more around 45 seconds. And now we're seeing that this time has more or less halved. Of course, depends a bit on our luck with crits and so on, but just look at the amount of damage that the Threshblade is pumping out. It is noticeably stronger than the Whirlwind X that we had beforehand. This here, by the way, just so give you also some context whilst I am talking about it, is the pre-quest for Sunken Temple, the warrior specific pre-quest, also known as the class quest, which will give us access to our trinket afterwards. So this here is mandatory for any warrior that's worth their name, and it is killing 50 mobs. So yeah, you can see we are regenerating quite a bit with our bloodthirst and the rage abilities from the Fury Tree, and at the same time we're just dishing out quite a bit of damage really. So I'm back to, let's say, 20 to 30 seconds for equal mobs in terms of killing speed, and that's, I would say, the sweet spot where I want to be in. It's definitely going to last until level 60, and all we need to do is just keep this weapon, keep grinding. We're definitely well enough equipped for now to reach level 60. I'll showcase also how this weapon does against a tiny bit lower level mobs. So these ones here are even like fully equivalent level, and with the axe I used to kind of lose over 50% of my health to them, because they also hit quite hard. Yeah, now it's a bit different. So these here are lower level mobs, as you can see, and we're just going to showcase how that is going. That's actually a very, very nice weapon upgrade that I scored myself. Hence I was so eager to go into Maraudon. It's that type of weapon upgrade where you even respec for it afterwards. And I think what makes the weapon so good is it doesn't even have stats, but what makes the weapon so good is it is incredibly slow speed for a one-hand weapon. Therefore, you can use it until very, very late. Even arguably can use it as your pre-raid biz. That's not going to be an issue. And on top of it, it does have an absolute phenomenal proc ability, the Thresh ability, which kind of allows you to attack 3 times from time to time against an extra swing. I think it's actually 2 swings. Anyways, I might be wrong. So you get extra attacks, and you see that Thresh is proccing on average once every pull. And the kill speed, as you can see, has drastically improved. I can also chain kill slightly lower level mobs, which is really what you want to do as a warrior. Just not standing around, but instead continuously killing these guys. And These, by the way, the reason why I'm doing this in conjunction with getting my kills for the warrior quest is these guys here drop the parts for the lung juice cocktail, which is 25 stamina increase, and that is going to be very, very important for raiding, just so that we got maximum hit points until we get the Sansas, and for that I need revert in Zul'Gurub, so I need quite a few raids this year. We'll need to fill up. Still have a lot to do. Anyways, that's it for the introduction here. We're going to fast forward to the actual content of today's episode. Alright, so zip, and we are in the Yunguru crater, which is going to be our target for today. Contrary to what we've done beforehand, we are this time buffed with a ZG buff, so we're not going to play unbuffed. And you can see just how much this Thrashblade is doing work. I just arrived here, so picking up the first quests, a couple of trade-in quests. Got room for 5 more quests, it's good. And we're just starting with the quests here in the south. Got an Ogrimmar quest called Bone-Bladed Weapons, but basically it's just kill a lot of these Saurians and get some weapons in return. So that's good. Why am I having Venom hide? Wait, what? I have Venom hide poison on my blade. I don't know how I got it. I think because I fought the Venom hide's dinosaur. Cool. Didn't even know that they could do that. Anyway, so apparently that deals a little bit extra damage, yeah. But just look at how we're grinding through these guys. So here we're going to pick up a further quest. The boat downstairs. Underneath the waterline. There you go. Quest finishes here, and we just need to get the items that we've gotten back to town, but that doesn't need to happen right now. All right, trade in our dinosaur quest, the Fair of Larkovi, and just do the second part of it, where we need to go on to these items, these eggs. And then the Larkovi mates are spawning, and we basically need to kill them. Easy enough. We also got all of the weapons for the bone-bladed weapons. At least the first ones. We need Gurubashi Scent Gland for Bungle in the Jungle. That we can wait a little bit, doesn't need to happen right now. And you can see Warlock is here, has taken these eggs, so there is not a second mate coming, only one is spawning per set of eggs, and that's okay. I cleared all of this region, so should be able to spawn another one over here. Even if we're not charging in, we should be pretty fast in killing these guys. Very good. So that's 1 out of 2. And the second one will spawn over here. Just needs to free up the area a little bit. I love that extra poison. That's so cool. Alright, let's kill that second mate. Always looking out for the T-Rexes, the devil soars, that are patrolling this area. Fabulous. So, that's another quest done right away. We started with around 15% in the level. Yunguru Crater, one of those zones where if you know what you're doing, it's incredibly it's an incredibly efficient zone. You can quest over a level here, and you can do it very, very fast. Good, we'll be collecting a couple of these crystals, 7 of each, to immediately fulfill another quest that we haven't even taken yet. And let's go and get Larkovi's head, just so that that whole Larkovi chain is done and dusted. Frees up a space in our quest inventory, and just overall makes it easier. The cool part is normally this is a little bit too high, but with us being like ultra buffed and being level 54, a single level 56 enemy isn't really of huge concern to me. Crystals come in nicely. We need 7 each, like I mentioned. So might as well take whatever we can get. Alright, let's get Larkovi, guys. We need to prep some meat for him. Opening the pouch. Putting the meat down. Applying the pheromones. Getting another green crystal, and let's go with Larkovi. Since we're missing a couple of our hits, that triggers overpower. And yeah, I mean, for an enemy that is 2 levels above us, that was quite dominating. Poor human warlock here. It's always 1 step behind. I don't think Larkovi can immediately spawn again. I think there is a bit of a downtime now, but I might be wrong. So we're keeping our eyes open for a few more of those power crystals as we're riding back. Still need quite a few. We also need Unguru soil. And afterwards it is time to go back into the camp. Mainly because we do have quite a few quests that we need to trade in. I want to also get rid of some of the stuff in my inventory. I used to kind of do a huge round and just get all of the quests and then trade them in one swoop. And whilst that is super satisfying to literally get half a level, if not even more, from 18 or so fulfilled quests, it is actually not that efficient, because if we look into our quest journal, there are a couple of quests that I'm currently holding that I must hold. So for instance, I prepared this huge Sunken Temple run, 5 quests plus the class quest, so that's 6 quests run in Sunken Temple. But as you could guess, with 0 people playing, that's not that easy to pull off. However, I will find a group and then we're just going to do all of those quests. Nice level, nice little 7,000 experience there. So that means that's already 6 quests gone. And then I do have a couple of quests that we will need in Fellwood, one of the areas that I would want to do soon-ish as well. And that's pretty much it. The rest are quests that we already have here, either from Tanaris or another place. And yeah, that's your 20 quests. Good. We need some Unguru soil. I'll collect that on the way. Currently we're just riding up there, so fast forward for you guys. Alright, we are finally arriving. Didn't manage to get all of the different colors. We're missing yellow, but that's okay. We can still manage. That's an important quest. Beware of the Fedora dogs, important quest. Roll the bones, that's an important one. Thank you.
Hey there. Safe travel. See you later.
Then we give that back. And we give that quest back, which I think was here, wasn't it?
Hello.
Alien ecology, important quest. Expedition is also important, might as well take that.
Have a good one.
Take the flight path, thank you. And the Hendon was here. Fantastic.
How are you? All right, Ethan. Very well then. Very good.
Lost we can do. The question is, do we have anything else?
What can I do for you?
I think this one here. Oh yeah, the Lashers, that's perfect. Okay, do we have room? No, we're full. I should definitely get the mithril chasing as well. I think I have one in my bank, if I'm not mistaken, here for the Amy quest. And yeah, we can give it a go. We can start which is basically us starting to grind through a lot of elementals here to get the sticky glue. Normally, as a starter quest, that's also a bit of a problem, because when you go to here at level 50, these guys can sometimes be orange. But since we're 54, no such thing. We're just going to slap them. They don't deal a hell lot of damage, so with the exception of being disarmed from time to time, we're actually fine. Okay, we're being routed as well. I need to be quicker on that pummel. Oh gosh, this is going to be a nice little grind, and we got plenty of time on our world buff, so we're going to have a huge time here. And just look at that, that's 15 seconds kill speed timer finally back. Not if we're being disarmed, of course, but against the others. Gosh, I hate the disarm. And I also hate Black Sludge, if I'm not mistaken. That was really bad, like healing reduction and some other stuff that I don't like. And also look at that. Our kind of natural healing is good enough to not need to eat. We're just eating because we're in entangling roots. But we had so much kind of self-sustain that we could stay online for like 6-7 mobs, and that is good because the warrior is fast in killing, and if they can stay online for a long period of time, that's almost like having a pocket healer, because you're not reliant on your only downside, which is effectively needing to eat from time to time because your health is going down. Since I don't have mana or anything, it's just pure grinding, and it gets to show again the warrior is so dependent on their weapon and on the buffs that they are having. If you are well equipped and if you are buffed, the life as a warrior is a breeze. If you're not, then things are really, really bad. It's feast or famine, as they say. Wow, I compare that to a couple of other classes where I really struggle to get these guys down. I just realized I can evade the black sludge. That is so good. Getting some herbs, some random herbs as well. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. That we don't need. That we don't need. All right, let's go. I think this part after the kill I'll be fast forwarding because it is really just grinding down the elementals with style, but still it is grinding them down. We're about halfway into the quest. We're actually super fast. These guys were such a menace when I did them on other characters. Granted, I did them on lower levels, so yeah, that counts for something. Anyways, fast forward for you guys. Alright, we're back in business, guys. So, just finished the 12 kills. I also got myself buffs from DMT. Group was just about to finish them, so I figured, you know what, trade in, give and take 20 minutes of CG buff time and get 3 buffs from DMT in return for 2 hours. That's a good deal. And yeah, it turned out that that indeed is a good deal. It's crazy just how well the warrior scales once you do have multiple buffs running on him. And of course, the first time that I'm trying to show them off, I'm not getting any crits, so bottom line is I was much faster. Much faster and could chain kill. Which kind of brings us to our next task, which indeed is chain killing a lot of stuff. We got these blood petal sprouts and lashers. Careful with the big dinosaurs there, Syken. And we need to kill those as well as the Dimetrodons for bones and their scales. Then there are Pterodaxes up there, which we need to get, and there is the crate of food stuff, which together with the crate down on the other end is another quest. So what I will do is I'll just start, I think, with the Pterodax, because they oftentimes need a respawn. We need them for the scales, and we also need to kill them. Best way of doing it is, if you have multiple layers, to basically just kill them, then layer, and then continue killing them. Problem is, we don't have multiple layers. This is now a single layer server since many days, actually weeks, so there isn't much happening. These guys here, on the other hand, we can kill them whilst we're walking there. Need a lot of the blood petals killed. I think overall like 5 of each. Good news with them is they are like non-aggro, so it's really easy to single them out, kill them, and done. And you can see with the buffs, right, just how quick the killing is. We're looking at 15 seconds ish intervals on equal level enemies. Almost no hit points lost. Good, time for the Pterodax. These guys can fear. Gotta be a little bit careful with that. Not sure if we can break the fear. I know it's a cast, so technically I think yes. Maybe. Maybe not. This guy didn't even use it. So we need to kill 10 and get 8 scales. That's the plan. And some yellow power crystals on top. This is not forced respawn area, so I don't know why this guy respawned. No clue. Yeah, the next region where they could be is over here, but that's not the Pterodax. There are Pterodax like on the very south side, but I prefer having all of their scales done, because then Only thing that we need is frenzied pterodox, and we get them over here on the on the western side. Good so far, not a single one of them had used its fear ability. And they die really quickly. 3 scales, 4 of them dead. Perfect. Yeah, we're kind of riding on steroids at the moment with the world buffs, so whenever we can grab them, I'm trying to do it. As it feels like artificially your equipment is so much better when you do have world buffs. Some classes just benefit more from them than others, and Warrior by large and far benefits the most from world buffs. It's not even close second. So leveling the Warrior with world buffs is just a nicer way of doing it. Is it faster? Not always, unless you do have warlocks and mages that teleport you everywhere you go, which I don't have, so the walking time potentially offsets a bit of the gains. But the individual leveling, like I'd rather go AFK for 5 minutes whilst I'm flying somewhere and then have a good, a really good time leveling, instead of having a harder time leveling. These guys here we can kill for their pelts, trade that in down there. There's a follow-up to kill the boss, and we can also combine that with the Amy quest line, but for that we need a mithril chasing, which I thought we had on this character for some weird reason. Gorilla's got to be a bit careful with them. They are calling for help, and it's easy to get swarmed. So if we finish this and go back to the pterodox, that might be a good compromise to see if they have respawned already. And in a sense, since I'm not just focusing on one quest at a time, that also means we can play the respawns a little bit more. Gosh, satisfying. The dual wielding also has a bit more of a fun aspect to it. Why I'm saying that is the Whirlwind Axe isn't bad, but the Whirlwind Axe like has one swing every 3 seconds, and then when you're missing that you need to wait another 3 seconds basically just to get a swing going. So that's pretty annoying. Here you're seeing numbers right away. They pop up. And they continue to pop up. Like it's a more constant flow of damage. And it's also the first weapon that I enchanted on this character. Yeah, I'm cheap. Could have potentially enchanted the Whirlwind Axe to make it a bit easier. But really, it was okay either way. And with Fiery Weapon on this, on the Thrash Blade, I'm noticing definitely there are a lot of procs, lots and lots of damage happening. Good. We still need Thunderers and Stompers pelts. Originally didn't even want to go that deep into the cave. But we're killing so fast that I don't have a chance other than going into the cave. So in terms of equipment, Thrashblade good. The Woven Ivy necklace and the Rune of the Guard Captain I would consider also good, and arguably pre-rate Biz or equivalent thereof. So we can definitely work around that. There are a couple of other things that this character needs to do. So on the bucket list, other than like solo questing, we do have Sunken Temple, which I need to do soon-ish to get the Diamond Flask. Then we do have the Ren Blackhand quest, which I think is LBRS if I'm not mistaken. So I need to run that dungeon and organize it. And that's doable, like 57, 58, easily doable. And it's good XP on top of it. We wouldn't be able to tank it, but I'd be able to come as a DPS warrior. Good. That's all the gorillas that we need for now. Let's top off our experience with a little bit more sharpened blade. There we go. So yeah, because that will lead into the Onyxia quest chain for the Onyxia access that we need. I will need one BRD run at least, but that doesn't need to be immediately. It could be level 60. There is plenty of good warrior loot in BRD, so there's actually a good sense in doing it, and it would unlock Molten Core's attunement. Gosh, we're killing so fast that these guys haven't even respawned yet. Now we're going to, I'll grind through this and come back a little bit later. So yeah, Molten Core attunement and basically Onyxia attunement. Those would be the bits and pieces that I'd love to do. And then I think those are the important oh yeah, well, I mean, we definitely need Winter Spring, plenty thereof, because you can grind echoes there for Jujus, and Jujus are important for melees as they give extra strength buffs that are very much needed. So specifically at the beginning you just need to bring them, or the Blasted Land buffs, which I think we're maybe going with the Blasted Land buffs because I have more mats for those. But I think Strength Juju and Stamina Blasted Land stacks, so you can do that. You just can't do both Stamina or both Strength. Yeah, and Winter Spring oils, Winter Spring water from the fell burrs there. These guys drop an excellent melee buff, which definitely is needed if we're going to raid, because I figured the first few raids I might be able to just tag along without tanking as a DPS warrior, but I don't want to just go in and like be the guy who basically has no equipment and is just relying on others to do the job and gobble up the equipment. Whilst I will gobble up equipment, and whilst I will likely not deal as much damage as others, I still want to put my best foot forward and actually do a solid performance for the gear level that I'm bringing. Wow, so good. The kill speed is phenomenal. Yeah, we're looking at 15 seconds kill speed at this point here. And we need all of these guys, by the way. The Diametrons even more so, but I know a good position for them down here, like right here, almost only Diametrons. So whatever we haven't farmed, we up here we can get down there with ease. And I assume, I was to take a wild guess, we're like fully alone in here. Yo. Didn't need to be a Sherlock Holmes to know that. Oh yeah, I love it. Good times. When you do have world buffs, life is good as a warrior. Alright, I tell you guys what, we're going to go to that equipment that I need to capture, and then it's fast forward a little bit more. Because it's really just grinding down Diametrodons and the plants. And then Pterodons and whatever else we can find. It's really literally killing whatever we can find here, because everything is needed. That's the cool part, I would say, about Unguru. It's very grindy, but you basically need everything. Like everything, even if I would have advanced the slime quest correctly, I would be on the slime quest and could even kill the slimes here. Which I haven't, so whatever. Good, fast forward for you guys. Alright, so after a full-fledged rampage where I killed literally maybe 40-45 of the Diametrodons, we're now at a point where we are changing from Diametrodons to a different subject. We need to get into the hive and get the hive wall gland, and as part of it we'll kill a couple of these hive workers and warriors, and they do have a rare drop. So I would say we're just going straight into it. After we're done here, there are still Pterodoxes to the south that we need to kill. A couple more scales that we need to get. Yeah, we need to go to that entrance. Right into the middle here. Alright, let's go, boys. I mentioned it in many of my playthroughs, but I have a huge respect for the Swarm, because these guys all have nasty abilities. They have really good stats. They are not CCable, except with fear, but that oftentimes creates more problems than it solves. and they typically are in densely populated areas and cave systems, tunnels, where you can't just get away. So we gotta take this here with the necessary respect that it deserves. Not just mindlessly run in. Good. So far, things are going very well. Let me use the buff food here. And we're also going to use a grinding stone, just so that we keep up the pace. Good. Nicely self-buffed. Let's go. This guy is a patrol, marking him. Wow. Movement speed reduction by 62%. That's crazy. Luckily I do have a cleansing option if push comes to shove. But we're okay for now. Don't want this guy to ambush us from behind. So we're directly confronting him and killing him. Tunnelers have this nasty armor reduction. And for a class like ours, where armor actually matters, that's not good. Okay. I got a ping. There is some rare bug somewhere here. Clutch mother. I would assume she's in that hive. Our job is done once we're done here, but since we're killing relatively fast, might as well go a little bit deeper. We still need the rare drop, and any of them can theoretically drop it. Okay, careful here, don't want to get the ad. Good, we haven't gotten the drop yet. Wait, that was it. Okay, that was the rare drop that we were looking for. And that changes the situation a bit. Okay, but we found the clutch mother. I was about to say, unless I find her around the next corner, we're just going to go out. Too many patrols here. It's overall just too dangerous. Marking this here, just so that we see whether or not they are coming. Ginormous hive. Just getting the patrols and the guys that could add. I don't know if she calls for help. That would suck. I have an idea though. I mean, it's just a rare mob. Luckily I marked back here, so I know that this guy is coming. Cool. And we got ourselves, yep, some bonus loot. Okay, we got the glance, we got the quest done, and we even got a rare. I call that a success. Okay, more pterodox, and then we're trading the apes in here. And what are we going to do afterwards? I think we're just going to take the second research equipment and the frenzied pterodox and maybe the blood petals. I think that's a good idea, and then we can wrap it up. There are still more quests around here, so I will need a second round regardless. But as long as we do have kind of the buffs, might as well do all of the kill quests, or the ones that require like heavy killing. That's the first one that ever used the fear ability. Hilarious. Oh, we got a living essence, that's nice. Good, we need to kill one more of the pterodox, but we need more of the scales, so might as well just kill all of the ones up here in hopes of getting the scales. But we're having more pterodox that are going to come, so it's kind of not the end of the world if we don't get the scales. However, these here have a relatively high chance of dropping the scales, which is why I tend to just try to kill them for scales as well. There we go. Alright, let me fast forward this. Alright, so we're back. We got every scale down there and are finally in the western region. Gotta be a bit careful because there are a lot of elite mobs around here, but the jobs that we need to do over here aren't particularly difficult, besides gathering a little bit of earth and getting this material here, like this research equipment. The only other thing that we need to do is getting the frenzied pterodox. And that's really what we're going to go for next. Trying to keep my inventory somewhat clean. So, the frenzied pterodox do not fear, but they, as the name suggests, fall into a frenzy. Problem with a lot of them down here is that they are very close to elite enemies, and I have no intention of fighting against them whilst elites are nearby. What we can do though is we can pull them a little bit closer to where we're going to fight them, which is in the mountains. Yeah, and for them we really just need to kill 15 and that's about it. So straightforward, and that's the last one of our kind of initial round. There's another quest here which we're going to pick up on our further round. There will be a round 2 after I trade in most of the stuff here. And on that round 2 we're going to pick up the finding the source and doing a couple of other shenanigan quests. There is Lost here, pick up this finding the source here. We want Amy and Uchata, so that's 2 quests up there. We need to visit all of the pylons, that's 3 additional quests to do that. So yeah, there is stuff to do. And did I miss something? I think there is a follow-up quest for one of those things. But yeah, I mean, one of the things that I wanted to highlight is we started not long ago with about 15% in the level. Yes, we traded in a few quests, but just the amount of speed grinding through the mobs here has allowed us to reach 65% already, just because I was basically non-stop killing shit whilst we were having all of the buffs, and we're still doing that. So that's great. On top of it, if I'm looking into our quest log, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pterodox is 7. 7 further quests that we can trade in. So we almost got a level out of it, and we're not even done with the zone, which is why I said I absolutely love the Unguru Crater so much. It's a great zone, and it's also one that just gives so many like monetary rewards. I can sell these crystals because they can be used for buffs and other items, and frankly people are oftentimes just too lazy to pick them up, and they typically go for quite a bit. Like, it is a legit strategy to collect them. You can't just sell those, but I definitely made quite a bit of money selling them instead of trading them in post the first quest. Not 100% sure what... Yeah, that's wrong. It's not 30 silver. They go more for 50 silver, 60 silver a pop, and now with an empty server, maybe even for more. The question is literally, do you find someone who's willing to pay money for it? And typically at some point you will. They cost nothing to put in. So yeah, if I move next to some of them, it's worthwhile picking them up. Gosh, I don't remember when I had so much fun here. I think on the Warrior playthrough, that being world buffed and just grinding through stuff is the best experience. With other classes, like a mage for instance, you have a lot of mana breaks in between. Granted, I could have AoE'd and then it would have been cooler because the reward itself of 3-4 mobs dying at the same time, of course, is a little bit better. But still, man. The Warrior and getting right into their face, seeing the numbers pop up, crits left, right, explosions from fiery weapon. That has an appeal. I can understand why people love that class so much. Alright, so fast forward for you guys because we're just going to pick up the remaining frenzied potato dogs and then I'm riding back. Okay, so we are back in town.
Time is money, friend. Hurry back.
That's one. And that is 2.
Be good. Keep it real.
Nice feat, by the way. Super good. That's a huge upgrade for us.
You need something? See you around. See you later.
What can I do for you? See you later. Safe travels.
Another quest.
Glad I could help. Keep it real.
Yet another quest. Then the Larian quest over here.
No. Keep your feet on the ground.
And then we're doing the Power Stone quest, which we haven't even started. But with bringing the Power Stones to the quest giver, we immediately progress it and get the pylons, which is the follow-up quest. Look at that, 85%.
My you're a tall one. Very good.
Crystals of power,
Have a great day now.
trade that in.
Well then.
1, 2,
Be seeing you. Off and away.
3, and we're continuing with those. Alright, since we do have, however, 2 further quests in Tenaris that we need to trade in, I will do that first, and I think I'll end the episode here because it's basically flying back and forth and then a couple of minor quests here. So I think we've done most of what we wanted to do. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Truly appreciate it, and see you in the next episode. Take care and bye bye.